Hey everybody, Antoni here with a review of the sixth subscription concert, which is in honor of the 444th anniversary of the Staatskapelle Berlin, with Daniel Barenboim on the podium and with the ever lovely and wonderful Dorothea Röschmann as the soprano soloist. And this was shown at the Berliner Philharmoniker. Now, the evening began with the late Elliott Carter's composition of Instances. For those of you not in the know, Elliott Carter was an American composer who's lived throughout the 20th and the 21st century. This is actually one of his last works before he passed away of old age. And honestly, this was such a great opener. And before Barenboim actually conducted this interesting piece of music, he actually had a little talk about what he feels about Carter's last composition. And it doesn't always have to be looked at too seriously, but at times it can be looked on with humor in the best possible way. And sure, it can be humorous at times, especially with some of the winds and the brass instruments, but it is just so exciting and intense. And it's really thrilling. And it was such a thrilling opening. And after that wonderful piece of music, we had Dorothea Röschmann, who sang the Countess from Marriage of Figaro last Sunday, singing Richard Strauss's Four Last Songs, and my goodness, was she wonderful. She was absolutely beautiful in terms of voice and expressivity. It's no wonder that she was also able to specialize in Lieder, and she's pretty much a master at this. She's actually been singing Lita for a very long time, and it really shows just how far she went in her craft, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah, like I said before, she nowadays specializes in a lot of the full lyric and spinto soprano repertoire, but not really the Italian spinto repertoire, but mostly the German spinto repertoire, like the Marschallin, Elsa von Brabant, and Eva Pogna, though they're mostly sung by full lyric sopranos. But her voice is a lot fuller and it has a darker tone to it as compared to what I've heard in her Pamina and her earlier attempts of Countess Almaviva. It was a lot higher, a little bit lighter, but nowadays when I hear Miss Röschmann's voice, it sounds darker and a little bit more rough, but it has that beauty, that grace and that agility that she still has. It's just a great instrument that she uses, whether she sings in opera or in Lieder. And this was absolutely a fantastic night for her. And then the evening concluded with Stravinsky's Rite of Spring. For those of you who've watched Fantasia ever since you were a kid and you've seen this animated short or segment, would be a better word, animated segment with all of these dinosaurs, and it has such a reddish background, and it probably scared you as a kid seeing how violent they can be. Yeah, that's basically Rite of Spring used in this animated segment of Fantasia. And all I have to say is that Mr. Barenboim was able to keep up that intensity that makes Stravinsky's piece very famous. It really gives you the sense that you're in a tidal wave, that you're riding a tidal wave, and you don't know when it's gonna stop. And it just feels so exciting, and then it builds up and up and up that you almost feel like you almost want more, but you're almost quite scared because once you get more, you don't know when you're gonna go down. So it basically conveys that feeling of the thrill, of that excitement. And Barenboim manages to convey that very well. So overall, this concert was definitely exciting. Thanks to Maestro Barenboim's masterful conducting. I mean, he had such a huge round of applause from the audience that he wholly deserved. And the same thing I can say about Dorothea Röschmann. She also had such a huge round of applause from the audience, which she also deserved very well. And it's safe to say that these two were absolutely the best artists that I have seen. The same thing I can say with the Staatskapelle Berlin. They were all fantastic. There was great performing all around, great musicianship, great artistry. What more can you ask for? And they'll also be performing at the Konzerthaus am Gendarmenmarkt tomorrow. So if you haven't seen them already, well, go check them out. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in to my next review. Until then, this is Antoni signing off and wishing you all a good night.